The street named after Soviet General Zholodev no longer exists in Kyiv. Now it is named after Oleksandr Makhov, a Ukrainian journalist and serviceman killed during the battle near Izum on May 4th. Tens of thousands of people voted to name one of the streets in Kyiv in his honor. Oleksandr Makhov was a war correspondent. He worked in hotspots, covered events in different countries of the world. Before the start of Russian aggression, he lived in Luhansk. In 2014, he went to defend Ukraine. In the early days of a full-scale Russian invasion, he returned to the front line.
In 2014, he saw with his own eyes what the Russian world is. He was the last journalist to leave Luhansk at the time. He stayed to the last until he received direct death threats. His stepfather fought on the side of the so-called self-proclaimed Luhansk People's Republic at a time when Sasha was fighting on the side of Ukraine. His mother called him a punisher and a Nazi. When I spent time with Sasha, when he was still alive, he often told me that he would like people to know about him. He put a lot of effort into it. He was an excellent journalist. Sasha hurried to leave as if he knew that he would not live long.
Even while defending Ukraine, Oleksandr managed to document the war, write about the crimes of the Russian military. He made a proposal to his girlfriend right from the front line, and on May 4th, he was killed during a mortar attack by the Russian army. A fragment hit his lung. The journalist, Makhov's call sign, was 36 years old.
After May 9th, when we buried Sasha, I said in the evening, there were no tears, nothing. I began to think what to do next when a person died, and I began to make a plan of what I can do to fulfill his wishes, to be talked about and remembered. I don't know how this world works, but if he watches it all, he is pleased and he is happy.
And this lane is now named after the Ukrainian actor and TV presenter Pavlo Lee. Prior to the renaming, it was a Moscow lane. After the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, Pasha joined the ranks of the territorial defense of the Kyiv region. He was killed on the 11th day of the war. He was shot by the Russian military.
I love my work. I have four main interests: theatrical tours, filming, dubbing cartoons, films and TV shows.
All these plans were destroyed by Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. On February 26th, he was already in Irpin in territorial defense. The Russian army on its way to the capital turned the Kyiv region into ruins. Lee drove people to safer places. On March 6th, his car came under fire. Pavlo was 33 years old.
Mom, I'm very much needed here. There are many children, people who don't know where to run and what to do. He helped people live at a very difficult time. On March 6th, as they were driving, the driver Taras told me this. When they were driving, and grandmother, grandfather and granddaughter came out. They carried a white sheet. Pasha asked the driver, let's take them to the bridge. They were able to take them. That day, he was killed.
Pavlo was buried in his hometown in the village of Vurokhta, Zakarpattia region. More than 6,000 people voted to rename a street in Kyiv in his honor.
I'm very grateful to the people who honored his memory, and now he will continue to live in Kyiv, in Ukraine.
The last place of work for Oleksandr Makhov and Pavlo Lee was the UATV TV channel. Colleagues say they will do everything to keep the memory of the heroes alive.
You know, streets get renamed from time to time, and then one day you wonder who they named the street after. That's why it's very important to talk about these guys. Behind every street name is a story about the person after whom the street is named.
Oleksandr Makhov and Pavlo Lee were awarded the Order for Courage of the 3rd degree posthumously. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Julia Bezborodko, UATV News.